Ladies and gentlemen, our Team P is going to initiate a coverage of Детский мир, i.e. DSKY. We issue a buy recommendation for Детский мир on the back of a high growth potential and undervaluation of its business model and financial markets prospects. The target price is 162.51 rubles per share. We also analyzed pessimistic and optimistic scenarios. In pessimistic case, we expect Детский мир's equity to reach the level of 120.20 rubles per share. In optimistic case, we anticipate Детский мир's share price to reach the level of 202.63 rubles. We see Детский мир as a compelling investment opportunity thanks to a number of factors, including unique business model, big free float, experienced management team, and other factors.
Our buy recommendation is based on in-depth investigation of Детский мир's business model. Детский мир has a strong cash-generating model that allows it to pursue aggressive expansion while reducing debt leverage through implementation of an asset-light business model with a strong focus on maximizing returns. We highlight three key factors that drove Детский мир's financial performance during the past few years. The first one is a business expansion due to weakness of competitors. Детский мир purposes to continue its rapid development in Russia and Kazakhstan, with a focus on increasing the number of stores and cities with a high business potential. Детский мир has opened 32 stores in 2017. The second is focus on like-for-like growth and effective merchandising. Детский мир seeks to sign exclusivity agreements in order to grow like-for-like sales, increase traffic, improve customer loyalty and protect against price competition in the pre-sale period. Детский мир shows best like-for-like sales growth among Russian public traded retailers even in past few years' recession. LFL sales growth improved to the 6.1% in third quarter versus 4.8% in second quarter of 2017. The third main factor is growing e-commerce and omnichannel retailing strategy. The omnichannel strategy is leveraging Детский мир's available store network throughout Russia. The retailer's efficient omnichannel model enables it to take a maximum share in the children's goods market, effectively using company's brand power and its leading market position. Детский мир's online store became the largest retailer in terms of online sales in the specialized children's goods market with almost 7% market share. These factors result in high revenues.
The shareholder structure consists of two major shareholders, Russia-China Investment Fund and AFK Sistema. Russia-China Investment Fund is partly backed by the Russian governmental investment vehicle named Russian Direct Investment Fund. Thus, the government stake in Детский мир is 12.7%. Another huge shareholder is AFK Sistema, that is a large private investor operating in the real sector of the Russian economy. Its stake is 47.10%. Governmental stake coupled with a substantial AFK Sistema stake implies trust of large players towards Детский мир's equity. Детский мир's free float is 40.20%. It's higher than the average free float on the Russian companies in Moscow exchange. For this reason, Детский мир's equity can be regarded as less volatile in comparison to the average Russian company's equity. Детский мир has highly experienced management, with the majority of the members of the management board joined between 2012 and 2014. Most of them, prior to joining Детский мир, worked at senior level positions at highly reputable Russian brands. The reputation and experience of the management implies reliability and high quality of their decisions aimed at further development of Детский мир.
Russian economy has experienced several recessions over the past few years. These years were characterized by aggressive export activity of natural resources. Despite the fact that Russian GDP growth fell due to decrease in household consumption and decline of oil price, and it did not show significant improvements over the last year, Russian Central Bank anticipates formation of Brent's average annual price of about $50 per barrel. This is a basic scenario of Russian Central Bank. The inflation rate has slowed down to 4%, which was Russian Central Bank target for 2017. This is lowest inflation rate for the last 10 years. Central bank experts predict that inflation rate will remain at this level in 2018. In the context of low inflation rate, we believe that Russian Central Bank will keep reducing interest rates. Therefore, we believe that the positive dynamics of oil price and low interest rates will be key factors supporting the growth of the Russian economy. For this reason, we anticipate the GDP growth of 1.8 to 1.9% in the upcoming years.
Детский Mir's risk management policy is based on the fact that the emerging Russian market is exposed to more considerable risks in comparison with other developing countries. These risks include business risk, logistic risk, macroeconomic risk, industry risk, banking credit risk, and financial risk. However, Детский Mir has effective risk management policy which is carried out through rejection of risky investments, rejection of unreliable partners and clients, insurance, financial planning, compliance with standards, coordination and coherence of management programs and processes.
In the beginning of 2017, Детский Mir successfully conducted IPO in Moscow Exchange. By the end of the year, Детский Mir has increased its revenue by 22% and was planning to conduct SPO. However, SPO did not occur due to arrest of Sistema's assets because of Bashneft case. Russia-China Investment Fund then declared that it was going to sell 8% of Детский Mir's shares. Later, it was announced that 6.3% of Детский Mir's shares were sold. Russian Direct Investment Fund currently negotiating with Sistema regarding gaining control over Детский Mir and becoming its major stakeholder. In this scenario, government stake of Детский Mir will increase. However, this constant uncertainty over Детский Mir's equity might force investors to dump its shares, which will increase Детский Mir's share price. In short term, Детский Mir's share price might decrease due to SPO use. However, in long term, SPO may have a more positive effect. Investment attractiveness will increase due to high free float. As a result, liquidity will increase, which is positive for the company's capitalization. Детский Mir has a very attractive dividend policy. Its current dividend yield is more than 9%, which is higher than the average size of Russian companies' dividends.
We value Детский Mir using DCF model. The model is forecasted for 5 years because from our point of view, Russian economy will stabilize after recession and steadily grow by the end of this period. We arrived at 14.59% cost of equity using KPM model. The risk-free rate at 7.575% was obtained as yield to maturity of Russian OFZ bonds maturing in 2028. We assigned an equity risk premium of 9.24% and calculated beta of 0.375 on the basis of linear regressions of Детский Mir's MOEX stock price against MySix for a 6 months period. The target price was calculated for 3 cases: base case, optimistic case, and pessimistic case. In base case, we expect Детский Mir's equity to reach the level of 162.59 rubles per share. In pessimistic case, we expect Детский Mir's equity to reach the level of 120.20 rubles per share. In optimistic case, we expect Детский Mir's share price to reach the level of 202.53 rubles. Thus, we arrived at conclusion that Детский Mir's shares are undervalued and we issue a buyer recommendation with a possible share price ranging from 120 to 200 rubles and target price of 162 rubles per share.